Alas, poor dumbass. Law is just the ability to get through problems. That's it in a nutshell. You have a set of guidelines, either abide by them or you don't. The next step is to solve that problem. So what's the difference between a lawyer and a leader? At work, you're in a constant state of negotiation. You're either negotiating internally or externally. Internally, you're trying to get your team to be motivated, engaged, trying to accomplish tasks on time. Externally, you're trying to organize clients to spend more money. You're trying to organize different factions to help you accomplish goals outside of your company. So it is a non-stop negotiation process. Lawyers look at your case specifically for you, then they outline options for yourself. They advise the risks and benefits of taking one of these options. They also negotiate with other parties to resolve an issue. Does this sound familiar? As a leader, of course it does. This is what you do every day. Lawyers have to be extremely articulate in the way they communicate, both written and orally. On top of that, they have to be elite listeners. So a lawyer and a leader, very, very similar. Here are 6 traits of a great lawyer that should apply to you to become a great leader. Number 1, good communication skills. And that is a must. You have to be able to communicate both orally and written. Otherwise, you cannot have your team engaged. Number 2, judgment. You have to have the ability to take the information and make a judgment call on whatever it is that you're doing. Whether it's a project, whether it's a client, whether it's a meeting. You have to find ways to take that information, even if it's limited, and come up with a judgment call. Analytical/research skills. As a lawyer and as a leader, you have to be able to take in large amounts of information and be able to distill it so that your team can understand it properly. But you are the center point of taking that information. You have to find a way to make it manageable and logical.
Number 4, people skills. How can you provide the best approach to decisions on behalf of people if you aren't personable? You can't.
Number 5, perseverance. To become a lawyer, you don't just appear in a suit and say, I'm a lawyer. You have to persevere through a number of different degrees and tons of education. I like to pretend I'm one sometimes, but you have to persevere to become a great leader. You can't just arrive as a great leader. You have to educate yourself. You have to have some sort of experience with it. It doesn't just happen. And number 6 is creativity. One of my favorite ones, because you can have all these other traits, be able to distill information, great at analytics, but if you're not creative in the way you're communicating to your team or your clients, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to be creative. There is only one way to be able to get through to somebody's emotional intellect, and that's to have creativity in the way you communicate all these other traits. That is a great lawyer, also a great leader.